I believe Justin Jefferson deserves at least one vote for MVP. He certainly at least belongs in the discussion for the award anyway. But let's talk about it. Jefferson this year. When talking about most valuable player, you have to consider the value aspect. Take the player off the roster. What are they left with? How far off do they fall? That's the value of the player. The 2022 Minnesota Vikings 31st ranked defense. Every win that the Vikings have this year outside of week 1 was a one-score game. Mac Jones last night, Thursday Night Football against the Buffalo Bills, completed 61% of his passes, 195 passing yards, one score. The same Mac Jones last week against the Minnesota Vikings defense completed 72% of his passes, 382 yards, and 2 touchdowns. It's clear that the offense carries this team. The Buffalo game, I'll give you that. It was equal, but without the success of the offense, this team is nowhere close to 9-2. So let's talk about that offense. 17th in the league, essentially league average. 26th in rushing. Wow, okay, so the weight clearly falls on the passing attack, in which their 7th MVP is basically a quarterback's award. So we have to look at Kirk Cousins, right? 7th in passing yards, but with 17 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, that's gross, and it takes you out the conversation. Enter Justin Jefferson, who right now is 2nd in receiving yards by 1 yard to Tyreek Hill. Jefferson, with 112 yards per game, accounts for 45% of Kirk's production. Jefferson moves the ball up the field to set up the close scores for his teammates. And just so we're on the same page here, the Vikings defense second worst. Their run game is towards the bottom of the league. The quarterback, 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, very mediocre. The Vikings at 9-2 are one of the best teams in the league, primarily because of 18. Without him, you're left with Adam Thielen and KJ Osborne. You were without TJ Hawkinson for the first 7 games before the trade. Without Jefferson, instead of 9-2, I believe the Vikings are 4-7, or best case scenario, 5-6, which ironically enough would still put the Vikings in the race to possibly win the NFC North right now. But you look at the league-wide MVP candidates, you got to start with Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen. He's still in it, but earlier in the year, it looked like it was his award to lose. Now he's in 3rd. Those, to me, are the top 3 if voting were to be held today. In fact, I don't think there's any question about it. Nationwide, they're the consensus top 3. But Justin Jefferson, to carry a whole-ass team as a wide receiver is remarkable. Randy Moss did it for years. It's incredibly hard to do. But I think what stops Jefferson from having a strong argument to win MVP is scoring. Right now, he has 5 touchdowns on the year. That's not going to get it done. If he were, let's say, top 2 in that department, such as Travis Kelce right now at number 1 with 12 touchdowns, or Devontae Adams with 10, then I'd be like, all right, man, what are we doing here? But if you're considered to be more valuable than the league's best quarterbacks, then you have to crush it across the board. In 2014, the Dallas Cowboys 12-4. I thought DeMarco Murray should have been MVP that year. He had over 1,800 yards rushing, over 400 yards receiving, 13 touchdowns. He was the engine that made the success of the Cowboys possible that year. Now, he ended up 3rd in voting behind J.J. Watt and the eventual MVP winner, Aaron Rodgers. But I thought in real time, you got to give it to DeMarco Murray. I don't know what else he could have done. Justin Jefferson now, yards domination king, but 5 touchdowns on the year. Unfortunately, that's not enough on still a very, very impressive season. Comments time. Zay says, if I'm KOC, I'm exploiting CJ Mosley in pass coverage with TJ. Absolutely. I think for the Vikings to win this game, you're going to face a very problematic defense from the New York Jets. They have great players at all 3 levels, but CJ Mosley, as great as he is in pass coverage, he's not very good. TJ Hawkinson needs to have a big day for the Vikings to win. And every time you see, if you're Kirk Cousins and you're allowed to audible, if you see CJ Mosley guarding TJ Hawkinson and it's a pass play, go to him every single time. Next comment by Sebastian Cordova. I'm saying 27-24 because we missed an extra point. Yeah, I need to start subtracting 1 point from all my Vikings final score predictions for the rest of the year. And it seems like the last 5, 6, maybe 7 weeks, it never fails. That one possession, that one drive where it's such a grind and you scored a touchdown is so stressful, but we did it. We're back in this game. Hell yeah. Let's feel good about ourselves again. It never fails. Out comes Greg Joseph. Whoop, 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 whoop. And I say to myself, oh shit, he's going to fuck this up, isn't he? And he does. This man gets paid $2.5 million to be a terrible kicker at extra points. Are you kidding me? It's beyond me that he still has a job right now. Last comment by Kelly Bremer. White looked great against a Bears defense that I couldn't recognize the name. Bears literally playing out the season. TJ will crush Mosley as he has lost a step. We will win 34-17. The last 8 wins have been by 1 score, and you think now we're going to turn it around for a 3-score win? I'd love to see that, and I get what you're saying as far as the Bears defense. They're a bunch of nobodies, respectively, anyway, if that's even possible. But who are we as Vikings fans to talk shit on another team's defense? We are the second worst defense in the league. Every quarterback that we go up against, whether they're top tier or bottom of the barrel or a backup quarterback, they go off on us. I expect next Sunday to be no different. It's going to be another excruciating game. And to go back to Sebastian's comment, I'm going to dial it down because of the missed extra point, the routine missed extra point by Greg Joseph. Instead of 28-24 like I predicted yesterday, 27-24, Vikings will win.